Hi there, this is Simon, personal finance coach. I'm also an electrical engineer that spent over 30 years in hardware, software, and semiconductor industries, and I'm excited to share this video on how to navigate the AI investment landscape in the stock market. And this is an exciting time for AI. AI space is very broad and deep, and it can be overwhelming to understand. Many companies, public and private, claim AI in what they do, but only some of them are real AI companies worthwhile considering investing on the AI premise. My intent in this video is to explain what type of companies are involved in the AI revolution so that you can be able to classify yourself the emerging landscape. The companies I will be referring to are traded in the public markets, and this video will not cover the even larger number of private companies in the AI space. In the interim, please subscribe to this channel for notifications of future videos. First, I will break out the AI industry into 3 tiers and explain how these tiers are related to each other. The first tier is AI hardware. Artificial intelligence, as the name implies, is artificial, and it requires compute power that is achieved through an array of hardware that comes in many different forms. Hardware is the backbone. Without hardware, nothing can be computed. The main AI hardware component is a GPU that is associated with the company Nvidia and is the most common that everybody knows about. Data centers are fast moving to GPUs from CPUs because of the computational requirements driven by AI. Other processing hardware is a CPU, also well known and is associated with companies like Intel and AMD. Memory, specifically high bandwidth memory, is the name of the game when it comes to AI, and nothing else will do a job required by AI. When you have GPUs as powerful as they are today, you need high bandwidth memory in order to process the data that is coming in and going out. Networking is the next critical hardware that moves data between the GPUs or between the clusters of GPUs in a data center. And AI also needs storage that is made of solid-state drives to take data out, use it, and put it back to be presented and interacted with the users. For all this hardware to be useful, GPUs must contain software and include software components such as an operating system, drivers, frameworks, APIs, AI models, apps, and some others. The second tier is AI ODMs, or original design manufacturers. ODMs are companies that specialize in building electronic products based on a client's specifications. They combine it all, put it together, and create a server. They source the various hardware components, processors, networking, and memory chips, interconnect them on a motherboard, put them in a form factor and enclosures, and ship it so that someone can install it on a server rack in the data center. The third tier is AI applications. AI apps utilize the hardware and produce outputs for the users of these apps, such as Google Gemini or Microsoft Copilot or a recommendation system for Facebook or Instagram. All apps require the availability of all 3 tiers to produce a valuable outcome. So we defined the 3 tiers of the AI technology space, and now let's jump into the AI hardware tier. Hardware is the backbone. Without hardware, you cannot get anything computed. AI requires computation, computation requires hardware, hardware requires silicon chips. It's no different than computational approaches for mainframes in the 70s, PCs in the 80s, mobile phones in the 90s, and smartphones in the 2000s. For GPU chips, Nvidia and AMD are the main designers of the GPUs. Nvidia is the market leader with market share of close to 90%. Intel and AMD are the main designers of CPUs, with Intel having a major lead in market share. Taiwan Semiconductor, known as TSMC, does the lithography and manufactures the chips. So is Samsung. But for the most part, TSMC is doing the fabrication of most of the GPUs. Intel does their own design as well as fabrication. Broadcom is on here as well, since they are the ones designing custom AI chips for the Metas, Amazons, and Googles of the world. For memory, there are three major names that produce high bandwidth memory: Micron, SK Hynix, and Samsung. SK Hynix is the current market share leader with over 50% in market share, but Micron is coming up and is expected to deliver market share growth. This is now one of the most explosive memory cycles in terms of the specific type of memory that we have not seen since the 90s. And these three companies are the ones that have the high bandwidth memory as a product. For networking, Nvidia is the one that makes infinite band optical networking that goes inside the servers and does the first level of data networking. Then there is Arista Networks and Cisco, who are building out AI infrastructure behind with switch spines so that data can move where it needs to go, or so that you can scale more GPUs and more AI accelerators together to train a large data model in a reasonable time. Broadcom also has networking products. As for storage, there is a lot of names making storage, but the main ones are Samsung with the largest market share, Micron, Intel, Western Digital, and SK Hynix. These companies offer a wide range of solid-state devices for data centers with varying capacities, performance levels, and endurance ratings. The specific needs of a data center will be determined which SSD is the best. This is not an exhaustive list of AI companies producing hardware, but these are the top names that come to mind when speaking about AI hardware. Now we move on to the AI ODMs. These are the companies that are putting the hardware together based on client specifications. ODMs are the ones that create installable servers for data centers by assembling the motherboards, GPUs, interconnect cables, storage, server memory, and shipping off as a final product to enterprises that costs many thousands of dollars by the time it's done. The players in this space are HP Enterprise, Dell, and Supermicro. Some of them would also contract Foxconn to do part of the work. HP and Dell combined have a market share of around 50%. Supermicro has the smallest market share of the three, but is growing fast on the heels of Nvidia and AMD launches of their latest AI accelerators. There are also the big names like Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Apple that need to assemble these servers. Generally, these companies do it themselves internally or through the contracts with ODMs. Moving on to the AI apps. This is the largest of the three groups. This is where business and consumers become the end users of AI. This is where most of the buzz is happening as well. This is when you listen to an earnings call and AI is mentioned dozens of times, and you don't even know if it's true or it's a PR stint. This is where end user eventually decides and financials show it as a proof. It takes time to discern who is really truly using AI and what is vaporware. You have to dig in and do your homework on the AI app side. Some enterprises use AI for internal business purposes. Sometimes you see products and processes being improved on the back end that you are not really able to preview, such as Meta, as example, for content moderation and content recommendation system for ad targeting. They can use AI for these tasks and reduce the number of people that were doing these campaigns manually. There is obviously more like Meta, such as Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla, and the list goes on with the biggest names included. Then there is an outward business side, and they're using AI for the end user as a complete AI product. There is some overlap here. Meta, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft use AI internally to improve some of their systems and also allowing users to use it through their own apps, such as a search engine as an example that overlaps with the internal use and can be slightly confusing. More specific examples for end users include cybersecurity, it's one of the bigger ones like Zscaler, data management like Palantir and Snowflake, OpenAI obviously with ChatGPT, voice processing like SoundHow AI, and many, many more. AI hardware is the highest in the revenue funnel. Let me explain using the gold rush as an analogy for the picks and shovels perspective. Those that were looking for gold may or may not find it, but the ones that sold picks and shovels were having a good business no matter whether their customers did or did not. Same is for AI hardware. Everything starts with hardware. If you want to run an AI model, you have to have access to hardware. You can pay for that access or you can assemble it yourself, but more likely you will call an AI ODM and they will have to call their hardware suppliers to supply them with the chips. I would like to briefly zoom in into the three AI hardware leading companies, Nvidia, AMD, and Arista. Nvidia is a clear AI hardware winner and will be for a long time. It has the largest market share of about 90% and has the highest growth potential and best technology roadmap. Nvidia has a full stack. They go from hardware to software to frameworks to libraries that developers are using to create AI packages for their own AI models and products. Nvidia is also accelerating the cadence of introduction of next generation of their new chips from 2 years to 1 year, which is unheard in this industry. Everyone needs AI and they need it fast. And the fastest way to do it is to buy Nvidia. AMD is a great powerhouse as far as CPUs go, but with GPUs, they are in the second place. It has a less competitive AI accelerator package, arguably as good as Nvidia's, but having a full package as Nvidia matters. Nvidia has been working on AI for a decade and AMD for half of that time. Data centers are moving from CPUs to GPUs. As such, AMD's AI side with GPUs will be growing and CPU side will be shrinking. Arista Networks. Networking is critical to AI to transfer data between chips, nodes, and clusters. Without networking, data just sits on the server with no use. Arista is currently mostly in the front end of networking, but they're expanding use cases into back end with the next generation of Ethernet. All three, Nvidia, AMD, and Arista, have great outlooks for 2025 and beyond, and are the core companies in the AI hardware infrastructure. I hope that the three-tier approach classification and correlation of the tiers to companies provides a valuable framework on how to segment the AI ecosystem that is leading the way in AI revolution. Hope this is what you need to help you navigate. Please subscribe to this channel for notifications of future videos, and thank you for watching.